What is good, YouTube? Hope you all are doing well today. Welcome back to another Star Wars Unlimited Universe video. Today's video, we're going to focus on the Star Wars Secrets of the Jedi book, something that came out not too long ago, and is featuring Emperor Palpatine and his thoughts on various things. In today's video here, we're going to focus on one of my favorite all-time Dark Lord Sith, which is Darth Bane. He's actually the creator of the Rule of Two, one that I look towards as being the one that architect of the way that the Sith are as we know it since Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5, and moving forward here, Skywalker Saga. And in this book, he does bring up Darth Bane. He brings up the Rule of Two, but something specific, something interesting is how he describes the Rule of Two, as well as Darth Bane. But this is what he says in one of the pages when describing and talking about Darth Bane, the Rule of Two, various other things. It says here, Vader was not my only apprentice, nor was he the only one who failed me. Unlike the Jedi, who seemed willing to train practically and rabble who heard the whispers of the Force, Sith Lords were significantly more selective in their search for disciples, though this was not always the case. A millennia ago, the Sith and Jedi were nearly equal in number, but unchecked, vicious ambition and infighting turned our order against itself. Weakened by their own hand, the Sith were nearly wiped from existence from the opportunistic Jedi. But there was a Sith Lord who survived the culling, the great Darth Bane. It was he who reshaped the Sith, creating a new hierarchy to ensure the survival of our order. His Rule of Two dictated that only two Sith Lords could exist at any one time, a master to possess the unlimited power of the dark side and an apprentice to covet it. But no Sith is ever content merely coveting power. A true Sith takes that power for themselves. Lord Bane's own apprentice struck him down to claim Bane's place, and so began a magnificently vicious cycle. Many Sith apprentices, myself included, have supplanted their masters in order to ascend. Yet not all apprentices survive long enough to seize the power they were taught desire. And that's pretty much what he was talking about. One of the things, main key things that he was talking about in this specific book when it's mentioning Darth Bane's Rule of Two. Now he does go on to say some other key things. He brings up Darth Maul and stuff like that. He actually brings up Darth Tyrannus, aka Count Dooku, during this conversation as well. But I just wanted to dive into just, a couple of things. Now, Sidious, he comes from that Darth Bane lineage of, the Rule of Two. We, again, like I talked about at the beginning of the video, we know that, the Rule of Two was definitely established, many moons ago, right? And again, Sidious and of course Vader were, they came from that Darth Bane lineage of the two. They, when we see them in A New Hope, it's just them two, and you always were curious as to why there was only the two of them. Why were there, so many other Jedi, even if very few, but only just, Sidious and Vader. But as time rolled by, and we got the Bane trilogy, we got the Rule of Two book, and the, us and walking us through what Bane decided to do with the Brotherhood of Darkness, and then of course culminating into him creating the Rule of. He starts it, and of course it basically ends where Sidious is like, look, I'm going to be the only one to prolong this thing we call Sith legacy, and it's just going to be me and Vader. And of course, like he says, he's had other apprentices too. And with that, a couple of key words that he uses is that he literally claims it is saying that that he says, and so began a magnificently vicious cycle. The definition for magnificent is impressively beautiful, elaborate, extravagant, striking, while vicious is deliberately cruel or violent. So Sidious calls the rule of two itself a beautiful and extravagant, yet deliberately cruel or violent cycle. What interesting words, verbiage, that he decides to use to describe the rule of two. And as I sit back and I think upon this specific cycle that literally started from Darth Bane and basically stopped at where Sidious and Vader were at when it's pertaining to the films and definitely a couple of books and stuff like that. This definitely, to me, I truly do believe that it was indeed a magnificently vicious cycle. The Sith Lords at that time, from Bane's time and forward, where it landed in the hands of Sidious and him just making specific key decisions that would prolong his life. Of course, we do find out, sequel films that he's still alive and he transfers his essence and body and stuff like that. It's just smart tactical thing that Sidious would do because he doesn't want to give up that specific power. He wants to live forever and be immortal. And of course, he tells Anakin this stuff too, right? So it's just one of those things, guys, that per this book, that when I read it and I was just like, wow, just specific, those key words, a magnificently vicious cycle, to me just stood out the most in that reading. There are other things within this book that are very interesting that I'm definitely going to do other videos for, but to use that type of wording and of course to look up the definitions of these words, yeah, it truly definitely is. What a beautiful journey that the rule of two was from start to finish, right? And I just I love the fact that Sidious just stretched Darth Bane's rule of two as far as he could, in trying to figure out how to, like I said, how to become immortal and stay immortal. Is one of those interesting things when it's pertaining to the dark side of the Force. But with that, guys, I'm about to be out. Let me know your thoughts. What do y'all think of this video? What were your thoughts on this topic for today? Let's talk about some things in the comment section below if you feel up to it. And as always, remember, the Force will be with you always.